On the 8th of September, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II died, marking the end of the Elizabethan era. Her son, the then Prince Charles, immediately became king, and in under 24 hours had to give the most important speech of his life. Let's have a listen.
I speak to you today with feelings of profound sorrow. Throughout her life, Her Majesty the Queen, my beloved mother, was an inspiration, an example to me and to all my family. And we owe her the most heartfelt debt any family could owe to their mother, for her love, affection, guidance, understanding, and example.
This must be so hard. He's lost his father last year, and now he's just lost his mother, and he has been thrown into this grueling schedule where he is not allowed to mourn effectively. I honestly, I cannot imagine how tough this is.
Queen Elizabeth was a life well lived, a promise with destiny kept, and she is mourned most deeply in her passing. That promise of lifelong service I renew to you all today.
Promise of lifelong service I renew. It's linking the legacy of his mother to the new legacy of the new king. He's essentially telling us that he is going to be his mother's son, a copycat version of the Queen, effectively. So we are going to expect the same standards from our new king as we did from the Queen.
Alongside the personal grief that all my family are feeling, we also share with so many of you in the United Kingdom, in all the countries where the Queen was head of state, in the Commonwealth, and across the world, a deep sense of gratitude for the more than 70 years in which my mother, as Queen, served the people of so many nations. In 1947, on her 21st birthday, she pledged in a broadcast from Cape Town to the Commonwealth to devote her life, whether it be short or long, to the service of her peoples. That was more than a promise. It was a profound personal commitment which defined her whole life. She made sacrifices for duty.
That's an interesting statement. She made sacrifices for duty. I wonder what he's alluding to there. I mean, it almost... We've just had the front section where he's talking about the personal experience of losing his mother, but here it's an interesting place to put it. Let's carry on.
Her dedication and devotion as sovereign never wavered through times of change and progress, through times of joy and celebration, and through times of sadness and loss.
She was a constant, right? Whatever happened worldwide, whatever happened in the UK, she was a constant. She was always there, and it's a great reminder of that.
In her life of service, we saw that abiding love of tradition, together with that fearless embrace of progress, which makes us great as nations.
Tradition and progress, what a mixture. I think that might be what made the Queen so popular. She kept to those standards, those values that we love so much, and yet was still willing to be progressive too.
The affection, admiration, and respect she inspired became the hallmark of her reign. And as every member of my family can testify, she combined these qualities with warmth, humor, and an unerring ability always to see the best in people. I pay tribute to my mother's memory, and I honor her life of service. I know that her death brings great sadness to so many of you, and I share that sense of loss beyond measure with you all.
Let me just start off by saying I cannot imagine how difficult it must be to have to give a speech like this so soon after losing your last parent. The strength of will and the ability to compose yourself when the nation is mourning is phenomenal, and I don't think any of us will ever truly appreciate how strong you need to be able to do this. I certainly couldn't do it. With reporting the news myself, I was in tears. In fact, if you go back and you look at my initial report that the Queen was gravely ill, you can see that I was crying. I struggled to keep it together. I cannot begin to imagine how difficult this must have been for our new king.
When the Queen came to the throne, Britain and the world were still coping with the privations and aftermath of the Second World War, and still living by the conventions of earlier times. In the course of the last 70 years, we have seen our society become one of many cultures and many faiths.
The reference to many faiths is also an interesting point, because Charles is famous for having said that he didn't want to become defender of the faith. He wanted to become defender of faith, which is, it's a subtle change, but it actually means it welcomes everybody. It's not just about Christianity. So it's a really interesting point for him to put that in his speech.
The institutions of the state have changed in turn. But through all changes and challenges, our nation and the wider family of realms, of whose talents, traditions, and achievements I am so inexpressibly proud, have prospered and flourished. Our values have remained and must remain constant.
Our values have remained and must remain constant. Again, it's reiterating that he is his mother's son. He is going to keep doing exactly what she did, the things that made her so popular, that strength of value, that strength of commitment to the role, to the stiff upper lip, if you like, the essence of Britishness, the thing that makes us stand out in the world.
The role and the duties of monarchy also remain, as does the sovereign's particular relationship and responsibility towards the Church of England.
Church of England is always an interesting one, because obviously this is a role that sits above the Church of England effectively. And again, we're back to the question of faith, and faith was so important to the Queen, and obviously King Charles has been brought up within the Church of England faith as well. So it's another interesting point to remember. He's not just about the business side of things, but also about the faith.
Church in which my own faith is so deeply rooted. In that faith and the values it inspires, I have been brought up to cherish a sense of duty to others, and to hold in the greatest respect the precious traditions, freedoms, and responsibilities of our unique history and our system of parliamentary government.
He's just reiterating that she may have gone, but we have the same in our new leader that we did with the Queen.
As the Queen herself did with such unswerving devotion, I too now solemnly pledge myself, throughout the remaining time God grants me, to uphold the constitutional principles at the heart of our nation. And wherever you may live in the United Kingdom, or in the realms and territories across the world, and whatever may be your background or beliefs, I shall endeavor to serve you with loyalty, respect, and love, as I have throughout my life.
Wow, So it's whatever your faith, whatever your background, whatever your belief, he's reiterating that he is a king for all of us, for everybody, regardless of whatever your background is. King for all.
My life will, of course, change as I take up my new responsibilities. It will no longer be possible for me to give so much of my time and energies to the charities and issues for which I care so deeply.
Charles is so well known for his charity work. Think of the Prince's Trust, where he instigated investing in a lot of people that would never have gotten loans to be able to create their own businesses and transform lives. This has been a core part of this is a core part of Charles's work. But obviously, as a monarch, he can't do that anymore because his responsibility has changed. And this is an indication of the kind of way he has to go. It's just, he's moved into a new role.
But I know this important work will go on in the trusted hands of others.
Charles has been a controversial figure in the past. He has notoriously said that the architects cause more damage to London than the Luftwaffe. He's also very interested in environmental topics, but he's effectively saying he is going to be a fair and just monarch, exactly the way the Queen was, and that those kind of duties and those slightly disruptive ideas will be taken on by others, and he will focus on the role of monarch.
This is also a time of change for my family. I count on the loving help of my darling wife, Camilla.
The loving help of my darling wife, Camilla. Okay, so there is a large section of society that still does not accept Camilla, and he knows this, and the royal family know this. This is about reiterating that despite what you may think of what happened in the past, and remember, Camilla is the woman that Charles effectively was unfaithful to Princess Diana with, that she is his right-hand woman. She is now Queen Consort. She holds a serious, very high responsibility within the country. So it's reiterating how important and how valued she is to us and saying she's not going anywhere.
In recognition of her own loyal public service since our marriage 17 years ago.
17 years. Again, this is just reiterating this woman isn't going anywhere. She's been supporting him for a long time. I mean, doesn't it feel like Diana died just yesterday? So it's reiterating and reaffirming the point that she is a crucial part of Charles's life. She's been with him for a long time, and she also represents stability.
She becomes my Queen Consort.
And so she becomes Queen Consort. And again, this is a slightly tricky subject because Camilla is a controversial figure. And luckily, that's something that Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II made sure happened before she passed. She is the one that said that she wanted Camilla to become Queen Consort, which put an end to all of the discussions about whether we would have a Queen Camilla or not, because the Queen basically said, we will. She will be called Queen Camilla.
I know she will bring to the demands of her new role the steadfast devotion to duty on which I have come to rely so much. As my heir, William now assumes the Scottish titles which have meant so much to me.
So William moves up. Everybody moves up a level effectively.
He succeeds me as Duke of Cornwall and takes on the responsibilities for the Duchy of Cornwall, which I have undertaken for more than 5 decades.
50 years as the Duchy of Cornwall, wow.
Today, I am proud to create him Prince of Wales, Tywysog Cymru, the country whose title I've been so greatly privileged to bear.
That is going to be so difficult for us as a nation to be able to manage. King Charles was Prince of Wales for the last 70 years, so it's going to take some getting used to.
During so much of my life and duty. With Catherine beside him, our new Prince and Princess of Wales will, I know, continue to inspire and lead our national conversations.
Catherine, the new Princess of Wales. If anybody was going to fill that role, she's probably the best person to do it. You can't really fault it. She is a perfect prince. She's going to make a perfect Princess of Wales. Let's be frank. Is she Diana? No, but she ticks all the boxes.
Helping to bring the marginal to the centre ground, where vital help can be given. I want also to express my love for Harry and Meghan as they continue to build their lives overseas. In a little over a week's time, we will come together as a nation, as a Commonwealth, and indeed a global community, to lay my beloved mother to rest.
Because ultimately, what we want to remember is that the Queen is a mother.
In our sorrow, let us remember and draw strength from the light of her example. On behalf of all my family, I can only offer the most sincere and heartfelt thanks for your condolences and support. They mean more to me than I can ever possibly express. And to my darling Mama, as you begin your last great journey to join my dear late Papa, I want simply to say this: thank you. Thank you for your love and devotion to our family and to the family of nations you have served so diligently all these years. May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.
A quote from Shakespeare, his favourite author. May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. It's a beautiful ending, but it's also a little nod to Diana, because that was also used at her funeral. So it feels like a kind of closure for both and a start for the new king. I think he's done a fantastic job with this speech. He is effectively telling us he is his mother's son. We are going to get the same. There is no change happening here. As much as the Queen was a stalwart of our society, Charles has been in the longest apprenticeship for this that you could possibly imagine. Yes, there are going to be some changes. It's going to take some getting used to, but he is going to fit into that role in a way that we may not have expected. I think he did a fantastic job with this speech. As always, guys, let me know what you think. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, give me your feedback. Every interaction helps with the channel. I appreciate you, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care, guys.